Buckle your seatbelts for another tale of the supernatural. What if I told you that deep beneath the streets of Edinburgh lies a hidden world filled with dark history and restless spirits? This is something you must hear to believe. Today we're going to share the mystery of the haunted Edinburgh vaults, a labyrinth of underground chambers that have witnessed centuries of tragedy and terror. These vaults, hidden beneath Edinburgh's South Bridge, were once bustling with life, but today they are known for something far more sinister. But before we get into that, there's an even darker secret lurking in these underground chambers, something that continues to haunt those who dare to enter. I'll share the details in just a moment. The Edinburgh vaults were constructed in the late 18th century, initially intended as storage spaces for the thriving businesses above. However, as the city grew, the vaults became a refuge for Edinburgh's poorest residents. Over time, they transformed into a notorious slum, housing brothels, taverns, and even criminal enterprises. The conditions were deplorable, with no sunlight, poor ventilation, and a constant dampness that made life unbearable. Disease, crime, and death were rampant, and the vaults quickly became synonymous with suffering and despair. It's no wonder that these vaults are now considered one of the most haunted places in Scotland. But before we delve deeper into the eerie history of the vaults, let's talk about the most infamous spirit that is said to roam these underground tunnels: the Watcher. This menacing presence is feared by many who have dared to explore the vaults. I'll share more about the Watcher in just a moment, but believe me, there's much more to uncover. As the years passed, the vaults were abandoned, left to decay and be forgotten. It wasn't until the 1980s that they were rediscovered, and soon after, stories of paranormal encounters began to surface. Visitors have reported hearing disembodied voices, seeing shadowy figures, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. Some have even claimed to have been touched or pushed by unseen forces. The most haunted areas include the chambers where people once lived and died in squalor, and the sense of misery and despair still lingers in the air. Remember when I mentioned the Watcher? Well, here's the jaw-dropping part about it. The Watcher is described as a tall, dark figure that follows visitors as they explore the vaults. It's said to emit a feeling of intense malevolence, causing those who encounter it to feel cold, panicked, and desperate to leave. Some believe the Watcher is the spirit of a former guard or criminal who met a violent end in the vaults, forever bound to protect the secrets hidden within these walls. Okay, so we've explored the haunted history of the Edinburgh vaults, the tragic spirits that linger in the underground chambers, the terrifying presence of the Watcher, and the unsettling atmosphere that pervades this forgotten world. It's been an interesting tale, hasn't it? Don't miss out on more spine-chilling tales. Follow us for more paranormal stories.